So I asked for your help in choosing what to draw, and if you've seen my previous video, which I will link down below, then you know it ended up in a tie, and I've already drawn the first of the top two options that won, and now I am drawing the second. So the runner-up, or the tied winner, whatever you want to call it, was a stack of books or a cozy book nook with this color palette. I could have gone the really simple route and done just a stack of books. That would have been easy. It would have been done maybe in like 5 minutes. But I decided to torture myself with architecture. I really suck at architecture. And it's something that if you look at the vast majority of my art, you'll notice that I really try to avoid it at all costs if I possibly can. I really love drawing people and characters, but backgrounds, and especially, complicated backgrounds that if it does not look right mathematically, or you need math to figure it out in some way, I just really suck at it. But one awesome thing about the program I use, Procreate, is that you can add perspective lines, and that really helped a lot. I haven't really played much with perspective in a while. It's something I've been meaning to do, and this was a good opportunity to do that. So I kind of decided to draw like the book nook of my dreams, or where I would want to be able to sit and read. So I added this crown molding and little details here and there, a nice window seat, which I think are just so lovely. This is another feature that I have really been loving about Procreate lately, is that you can turn on the symmetry setting on a layer and basically get a perfectly mirrored image of whatever you're drawing. And it really helps for patterns, for designing rugs, which you never know what you're gonna have to do when you're drawing. Sometimes you have to be a fashion designer, sometimes you have to be a rug designer. And I actually found this brush that really kind of looks like that fuzzy texture of a rug as well. So that was a cool find while I was drawing this. I really don't know why, but this rug reminds me of like 90s aesthetics. Like, am I the only one that remembers these swirling patterns being really popular in like the late 90s especially? I feel like that was a thing, but I was a kid in the late 90s, so my memory probably isn't the most accurate. And then we just use the distort tool and we make the rug look right perspective-wise. This color palette was challenging to figure out. It really, for some reason I thought that this color palette had more blues in it, but really it is a pink, a purple, a lighter pink, I believe. So 2 pinks, a purple, and 2 grays. And I guess the grays are more to the blue, but it was difficult to find a way to balance these colors in a way that was cohesive. And of course, what book nook is complete without some snacks and hot tea or coffee? So shading was also interesting to try and figure out, because the light is coming in through the window, so of course anything away from the window would be cast more in shadow. If you have Procreate, I would really advise using the gradient. There's a gradient fill tool on there, but I actually have a gradient brush that's a little, for me, sometimes it's quicker to use. And in this case especially, it was very helpful in getting the shading on and to, see where the light would naturally be kind of gradiented. And for the window, I really was picturing this being a rainy day scene, especially with this being a very cool color palette. And I don't know, there's something about rainy days. I know I might be weird, but rainy days to me are just so beautiful. And especially if you can be indoors, that's not always possible, or you stay home and, drink the hot beverage of your choice. To me, there's nothing better than a rainy day, and there's something about them that really speak to me. And I really thought these little details would kill me. Trying to figure out this window, especially how the little boards, or how the little frames of the windows would work and go together. I ended up putting these little miter corners there, but I probably didn't get it totally accurate to how a real window would be, so please don't look that closely at them. Probably my favorite part of drawing this was the shading and just, being able to add, a fill here, some colors there, and really start to get a feel for the light in this room. And figuring that out was really fun. I probably shouldn't have picked this color as my main shading color, I have to admit. It does end up turning the picture a lot muddier than I would have liked, but since it was the darkest color, it was kind of hard to not use it. It ended up becoming my only option for the shading, unfortunately. Well, I do have to say, I've made a choice that I don't usually make in drawings. I ended up using the lighter gray as my line art color, and usually, my instinct at least would be to use the darker color for line art, and it makes sense. It's the highest contrast. It's gonna make your lines look the sharpest. But I actually really like how this lighter gray turned out, because the lines aren't as harsh, and especially using that darker color for shading, I think it kind of softens the whole picture and makes the shading, the line art doesn't stand out as much, and sometimes that can be a good thing. So I really could have put more work into the books. I thought about adding some highlights to them, and I just ended up deciding that that was just going to be, it was going to take away from it too much. And I honestly probably could have hand drawn them myself, but I have this brush where you can, you know, make a stack of books in an instant. And whenever you're drawing, it's best to work smarter, not harder. Adding the kind of glow or foggy effects to the window, I think that's probably one of my favorite final touches on this picture. Just making it really that feel of a rainy day with rain just splatting against the windows. And here is the final product. Let me know what you think. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I am actually kind of excited to explore more architecture in the future. If you'd like to check out more of my art, I will link my Redbubble account down below. And if you would like to see more of what I'm working on behind the scenes, my projects, updates before anybody else does, consider joining my Patreon. The link is down below. Special thanks to my patrons, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!